The film kicks off with Johnny, a successful and charming businessman, going for a morning jog. Despite his polished appearance, he's actually a bit of a womanizer. He resorts to various personas to woo women, often younger ones. Later at the country club, his buddy Fabio spills the beans about Johnny's multiple fake identities used to woo women. Johnny playfully suggests maybe his wife is interested in him too. During lunch with his pal Dario, who's also his physician, they discuss Johnny's escapades. Dario advises him to settle down with a mature woman given his age. But their conversation is cut short by a phone call. Gianni mentions it's about his mother, but shockingly, he reveals she has passed away. Johnny hurries to the cemetery, but confusion leads him into a Filipino procession. After a hasty apology, he finds the right spot. At the funeral, Johnny's twin brother delivers a heartfelt farewell, but Gianni skips his turn. He arrives late, making excuses and inadvertently reveals a racist streak in his explanation. After the funeral, Johnny inherits his mom's house. Amidst family photos, he reminisces in her wheelchair. Alizia, a new neighbor, startles him. She used to assist disabled individuals and offers to help Johnny, who immediately pretends to be disabled. Back at work, Johnny's ruthless side emerges as he chides his team. Rejecting Julia's marketing proposal for Paralympic athletes, he fires her on the spot. Then, he rushes to his mother's house. Using his fake disability, Johnny convinces Alizia to have coffee. But their conversation reveals she's into a different type of guy. Feeling the opportunity slipping, Johnny reveals his true identity as a successful businessman. Alizia's attitude changes, and she invites him to her country house for lunch. On the weekend, he reaches the address but decides to park his car at a distance. Seeing the clouds gather, he puts on a raincoat and struggles to will himself to the house. Inside, he meets Alizia's family, including her sister Chiara, who has a disability. After the meal, he and Chiara converse outside. She shares her passion for sports and her profession as a violinist. Though not very interested, he nods politely without contributing much to the conversation. Upon returning to Rome, he talks to his friends about Chiara. His doctor friend Dario inquires about her personality, while others wonder if she's attractive. He admits she's beautiful but confesses he's not attracted to women with disabilities. Meanwhile, Alizia visits his mother's house intending to return his raincoat. Instead, she encounters his brother, unaware of John's deception. She reveals his charitable work in Botswana and expresses sympathy for his disability. Johnny's brother is taken aback but plays along. Later, he confronts his brother about the lie, urging him not to sink so low. However, Johnny avoids the topic by teasing him about his baldness. The next day, before heading to work, he leaves a message for Chiara, asking her out for Saturday. To his surprise, Chiara visits him at his office that very morning. Caught off guard without his wheelchair, he awkwardly perches on his desk. Chiara explains she can't make it on Saturday but invites him to watch her tennis tournament for disabled athletes later that day. Trying to impress her, he fabricates a story about his company's support for disabled athletes. In the afternoon, Johnny, in his wheelchair, watches Chiara compete in a challenging tennis match and is genuinely impressed. After the game, she invites him to lunch with her disabled friends. However, the lunch doesn't go as planned. Bombarded with questions about his disability, he feels overwhelmed and even has a nightmare that night. In the following scene, Johnny travels to Turin, where Chiara is performing with her orchestra. He purchases an electric wheelchair and secures a balcony seat at the theater. Experiencing classical music deeply for the first time, he is genuinely moved. After the concert, he surprises Chiara, who wonders why he's in Turin. He lies about being nearby for work and accidentally dropping by. They then proceed to an upscale restaurant for dinner. During dinner, Gianni attempts to come clean about his deception regarding his disability. However, just as he's about to spill the truth, he veers off course, claiming he fibbed about his whereabouts instead. He confesses that he came solely to pursue her. After dinner, Chiara takes him to her hotel where they share a kiss, but she puts a halt to further intimacy, leaving Gianni disappointed. Returning from Turin, Johnny queries Dario about erections in paraplegics, foreseeing the direction of the conversation. Dario explains the physical aspect, highlighting that Chiara's pleasure hinges on the location of her spinal injury. He advises Gianni to forget the bedroom, reminding him of his age, but Gianni playfully shrugs it off. In the following scene, Johnny invites Chiara to dinner the next day while he picks up the girl he encountered during his morning run. Meanwhile, Chiara has a heartfelt chat with her sister, expressing her joy that Gianni views her as a complete person, not just someone to pity. The next day, Chiara visits Johnny's spacious home, effortlessly maneuvering around the furniture as Gianni continually bumps into objects in his wheelchair. During dinner, she questions how he ended up with paralyzed feet. Johnny concocts a false tale involving a similar accident to Christopher Reeves, the Superman actor. However, Chiara corrects him, stating Reeves was paralyzed from the neck down. Trying to save face, Gianni claims he fell off a pony, amusing Chiara. She then cautiously shares her own car accident ordeal. Despite minor injuries to her passenger and violin, she lost the use of her legs. To lift the mood, Gianni unveils a surprise, a rubber noodle to float in the flooded dining room. They share a passionate moment, but when the water recedes, Chiara reveals she has no sensation below her legs. Emotionally shaken, Gianni admits he felt the same only in his forehead. As she sleeps, he sneakily takes a selfie to brag to his friends. The next day, he shows them the photo, winning a bet with Fabio, but concealing Chiara's condition. Later that evening, Fabio's wife visits Gianni's house, clad in her night attire, accidentally shattering a wine glass. In jest, she compares herself to a clumsy person with a disability, which deeply offends Gianni. Without disclosing the reason, he politely instructs her to dress and depart. Days go by with minimal communication between Gianni and Chiara. However, gradual transformations emerge in his perspective on life. He approaches Luciana, suggesting they remember the intern who proposed expanding the shoe company's marketing to include paraplegic athletes. The next morning, during his routine jog, Gianni reaches out to Chiara, requesting a meeting, hinting at an important revelation. Subsequently, he visits her residence. Chiara guides him to her room, where she requests him to wait as she completes her violin practice. Upon seeing photographs of her before her injury, he experiences a moment of realization. Struggling with the weight of his deception, he attempts to confess but retreats before she becomes aware. Chiara observes Gianni's improved composure as they share a tender moment. Though she prompts him to open up, he evades the topic, lacking the resolve to come clean. They share a nervous chuckle as she recalls her ex-boyfriend leaving her after the accident. Chiara admits with a heavy heart that deceit hurts her more than her physical wounds. Hearing this, Gianni feels frightened and opts to keep his secret hidden for now. Later, Chiara requests him to introduce her to his circle. In response, he obliges and insists Dario and Luciana join them for dinner. During the meal, Dario hints at Gianni's feelings and pressures him to come clean, warning of consequences if he doesn't. Amidst this, Gianni accidentally spills soup on himself, leading to a private conversation with Dario in the restroom. Under pressure, Gianni feigns paralysis to maintain his facade. Meanwhile, Johnny's brother confronts Alizia about Gianni's lies, provoking her to confront Gianni and issue an ultimatum for honesty. Seeking guidance, Gianni visits his estranged father, who shares regrets over his past mistakes and urges Gianni to be truthful. However, Gianni fears losing Chiara's affection if he reveals the truth, revealing his growing affection for her. Their discussion is interrupted by news of a trip to Lourdes, sparking an unconventional plan in Gianni's mind to win Chiara's love. Conversely, Alizia advises Chiara against Gianni's suitability. Amidst this, Gianni invites Alizia and Chiara to Lourdes, hinting at a desire for a miracle. Tired of concealing his secret, Chiara shocks everyone by revealing she knows Gianni can walk. Confessing she allowed the lie to continue for the sake of affection, despite its deceitful foundation. In the subsequent scene, they arrive at the sanctuary in Lourdes, where they encounter Father Walter. Father Walter requests Gianni's presence in the cathedral for a private meeting. Once there, Father Walter confronts him, acknowledging that he's aware of Gianni's deception regarding his disability. Without waiting for an explanation, Father Walter cautions Gianni against revealing his ability to walk publicly, fearing it could mislead others into believing in false miracles. After the meeting, Gianni maintains his charade as he exits the cathedral. Meanwhile, Chiara inadvertently walks into harm's way as a truck approaches. Gianni intervenes, pulling her to safety. And despite the shock, Chiara pretends it's a miracle that he's able to walk. Later, Chiara departs, feeling distraught. In Rome, Johnny faces personal turmoil, compounded by Fabio's confrontation about his wife's affair and Luciana's resignation. Seeking solace, Johnny visits his mother's grave, expressing his love for her for the first time. Meanwhile, Gianni expresses his love for Chiara to her grandmother, who warns him not to hurt her again. Learning that Chiara plans to attend a theater show in Spoleto, Gianni rushes to catch up with her. Chiara, however, asserts her independence, refusing to entertain pity or excuses. In Rome, burdened by guilt, Gianni runs until exhaustion overcomes him. Unexpectedly, Chiara encounters him and humorously deflects questions about her presence. Choosing forgiveness, she embraces Gianni, symbolizing a fresh start in their relationship. As the story concludes, Gianni celebrates his birthday surrounded by loved ones, including his brother and Chiara's family. The scene ends with Gianni holding Chiara close, signifying their renewed bond. Please turn on alerts, like, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. Thank you for watching.